What if I told you there's a simple habit many of us over 60 fall into, one that quietly drains our energy and affects our well-being without us even noticing? It's something we might not even think about until it causes a problem. Well, today we're diving into something surprisingly common yet often overlooked, the habit of not drinking enough water. You see, as we get a bit older, our natural thirst signal isn't quite as loud as it used to be. This makes it incredibly easy to become dehydrated, and that's where the trouble can start. It's not just about feeling thirsty. Being even mildly dehydrated can lead to feeling tired and sluggish, dizzy spells, fuzzy thinking, constipation, and even more serious issues like urinary tract infections or increasing our risk of falls. Staying properly hydrated is truly fundamental to our daily comfort, keeping our minds sharp, and maintaining our independence and overall well-being. Hello there, thanks for tuning in. It reminds me of my good friend Arthur. He always seemed to hit a wall around 3 p.m., complaining about headaches and feeling utterly worn out. Turns out, the doctor's simplest advice worked wonders: just drink more water. He started keeping a water bottle with him, took sips all day long, and honestly, it was like night and day for his energy levels. So, in this video, we'll look at easy, practical ways to make sure we're getting the fluids we need, even when we don't feel thirsty. Little changes can make a big difference to how good we feel each day. If you find this chat helpful, please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps others find it too. And do consider subscribing if you'd like more tips for navigating these years with energy and peace of mind. You know, it's so easy to get comfortable, isn't it? Especially in that favorite armchair, the one that just seems to mold itself around you. My neighbor Eleanor, bless her heart, she loves her knitting. She could sit there for hours, click-clacking away. But after a while, she started noticing how stiff her knees and hips felt when she finally did try to get up. She wasn't moving much during the day, and her usual get-up-and-go just wasn't there like it used to be. It felt like wading through treacle sometimes, she said. This is something many of us fall into, what some folks call the easy chair trap. We settle in for a long spell, maybe watching the telly or getting lost in a good book, and time just slips away. But sitting like that for hours isn't doing our bodies any favors, especially as we get older. Our metabolism slows, our blood doesn't circulate as well, and importantly, the muscles in our legs start to weaken. And strong legs are absolutely crucial for maintaining our balance and preventing nasty falls. Staying put for too long is also linked to higher risks of serious health problems like heart disease and diabetes. It simply makes us stiffer and less able to get around easily. Our bodies are designed to move. So, what did Eleanor do? She's a practical sort. She got herself a little kitchen timer. Now, she sets it for about an hour. When it dings, that's her signal. She makes herself get up. She doesn't do anything strenuous. She just walks a lap or two around her living room, maybe does a gentle stretch. She told me recently how much better her joints feel since she started this. She definitely has more pep in her step and feels more confident moving around. It's a wonderfully simple idea, but incredibly effective. We don't need to suddenly start training for a marathon. The key is just breaking up those long periods of sitting still. Make a point to get up every hour or so, even for a minute or two. Walk to the kitchen for water, or stand up in margin place during television adverts. If you're on the telephone, try pacing around the room. Even doing simple chair exercises like lifting your legs can make a real difference. Remember, every little bit of movement throughout the day adds up and helps keep us mobile and independent for longer. Now, let's touch on something that sneaks up on us. I call it the quiet retreat. It's when we unintentionally let our friendships and family ties just fade away. Take someone like my friend Frank. After his dear wife passed away a few years back, he became quite withdrawn. Didn't answer the phone much, kept the curtains drawn. His daughter noticed, of course, and she worried. She kept encouraging him, gently nudging him to get out. She suggested the local men's breakfast club. Frank wasn't keen at first, took some real convincing, but he finally agreed to give it a try. Well, wouldn't you know it, now it's the highlight of his week. He enjoys the coffee, the bad jokes, just being around other chaps. That companionship has truly lifted his spirits. And this is so important because drifting apart isn't just about feeling a bit blue or bored. Real loneliness, the kind that settles in when we're isolated, is genuinely bad for our health. Studies show it can increase our chances of feeling depressed or anxious, it can affect our thinking and memory, and it can even weaken our body's ability to fight off bugs. We're social creatures, plain and simple. We need that connection, that sense of belonging. So, my advice is this: be intentional about staying in touch. Make it a point to call a friend or family member regularly, maybe set up a weekly chat. Have a look at what's going on at the local senior center or library. They often have clubs or events. Volunteering is another wonderful way to meet people. Even just striking up a conversation with your neighbors when you fetch the mail helps. Getting together in person is lovely, the best medicine really, but phone calls and those video chats on the computer or tablet are good ways to bridge the distance too. Don't let yourself become isolated. Reach out. Alright, let's chat about sleep, or rather, the lack of it. Sometimes we call it skimping on sleep. Maybe staying up too late or just not sleeping soundly. It's easy to think, oh, I'll catch up later, but it really doesn't work that way, especially as we get older. Sleep is vital. It's our body's repair shop, our brain's chance to sort things out. Not getting enough can truly cloud our thinking, make us irritable, weaken our defenses against bugs, and even raise our risk for falls or more serious health issues like high blood pressure. Consider my friend Martha. We meet at the library, and she's always been quite lively. But for a while there, she seemed really off her game, complaining about feeling foggy and forgetful during the day. We got talking, and it turned out she'd developed a habit of watching old movies in bed until all hours. She said it helped her unwind, but she wasn't getting to sleep until after midnight most nights, and then she'd wake up early. She just wasn't getting the solid block of rest her body needed. It was affecting her concentration terribly, and frankly, it worried her family too. She finally decided enough was enough. She bought an alarm clock, a simple one, and set a strict 10:30 bedtime. No more telly in the bedroom. Instead, she started reading for half an hour before lights out. She admitted it took some willpower, especially ditching those late-night films she enjoyed. But honestly, the change in her has been remarkable. She's back to her sharp self, the fogginess is gone, and she has much more energy. It just goes to show how crucial that consistent rest is. So, if you're feeling tired often, think about your sleep habits. Try to stick to a regular schedule for bedtime and waking up, even on weekends if possible. Wind down beforehand, a warm drink, maybe some gentle stretches or quiet music can help signal to your body it's time to rest. Keep the bedroom as dark, quiet, and cool as you comfortably can. And watch those late-night snacks or cups of tea. They can interfere more than you think. Your body and mind will thank you for prioritizing rest. Now, let's talk about something I call the "it's nothing" syndrome. You know what I mean. That little ache, the nagging cough, feeling more tired than usual. It's so easy to just wave it off, thinking, oh, it's just part of getting older. We've all done it, but here's the thing. While some changes are perfectly normal as the years go by, ignoring persistent or brand new symptoms can be a real gamble. Things like sudden shortness of breath, feeling wiped out all the time for no reason, a pain that just won't quit, funny business with your digestion, or losing weight without trying. These shouldn't just be brushed aside. Dismissing them could mean delaying finding out about something serious that needs attention. And as we all know, catching things early almost always leads to better results down the road. Take my old golfing buddy George, for example. He had this cough, you see, just a persistent little thing. He kept saying, it's just my allergies acting up, or must be the dry air. Went on for weeks. His wife, bless her heart, finally put her foot down and nagged him into seeing the doctor. Well, turns out it wasn't just allergies. It was the very early stage of a lung issue that needed proper treatment. Because they caught it so early, his outlook was much, much better. George is still out on the course, maybe coughing a little less, thankfully. His story really stuck with me. It shows how important it is not to just dismiss things. So, what's the takeaway here? It's simple, really. Pay attention to your body. It usually knows when something's not quite right. Keep up with your regular doctor visits and those important screenings. And please, don't ever hesitate to mention any new symptom or one that's sticking around to your doctor. No matter how small or silly it might seem to you, it's always better to get it checked out and hear that it's nothing than to ignore something that turns out to be important. Your health is worth that little bit of extra attention. Alright, Let's talk about some everyday things that can make a surprising difference to how we feel as we get on a bit. First up, water. Staying hydrated is more important than you might think. As we age, our sense of thirst can fade, making it easy to not drink enough without realizing it. Dehydration can leave you feeling tired, muddled, and even increase the risk of falls or urinary tract infections. My neighbor, Betty, who's 72, kept feeling unusually sluggish and foggy. Turns out, she just wasn't drinking enough water. Making a conscious effort to sip throughout the day really perked her up. A simple tip is to keep a water bottle or a jug handy and take small sips regularly, even if you don't feel particularly thirsty. Then there's movement. Take George, for instance. He's 81 and thought his days of feeling spry were long gone. He started with just a short walk around the block each morning, then added some gentle stretches. Now, he says his joints feel looser and he's steadier on his feet. You see, even gentle, regular movement combats stiffness, improves balance, boosts our mood, and crucially, helps us maintain our independence. Lack of movement really speeds up muscle loss and joint problems. Find an activity you enjoy. Maybe it's gardening, walking with a friend, or even some chair exercises while watching television. Consistency is key, not intensity. Don't underestimate the power of connection either. Remember my friend Martha, 77? After her husband passed, she became quite withdrawn. Joining her local library's book club wasn't just about the reading for her. It was the weekly chat, the shared cuppa, the simple act of being with others who shared an interest. It truly lifted her spirits. Feeling isolated is genuinely bad for our health, linked to everything from low mood to memory troubles. Making an effort to connect, whether it's calling family, joining a group, volunteering, or even just striking up a conversation at the shops, keeps our minds engaged and our hearts lighter. Sleep is another big one. It's not just about resting our bodies. It's when our brains do vital housekeeping, sorting memories and clearing out waste. Chronic poor sleep can make us irritable, prone to accidents, and can even worsen conditions like high blood pressure. Think about Arthur, 69. He was always tired and grumpy, blaming it on getting older. Turns out, his erratic sleep schedule and late-night telly-watching were the real culprits. Getting into a regular sleep routine helped him feel much sharper. Try to go to bed and wake up around the same time each day, and make your bedroom a peaceful haven, dark, quiet, and cool. Finally, and this is crucial, listen to your body. I learned this the hard way myself a few years back. I kept ignoring a nagging ache in my shoulder, figuring it was just wear and tear. Well, it wasn't. It needed proper attention. Those little signals, new pains, persistent fatigue, changes in appetite, they're not just random annoyances. They're your body's way of telling you something might be amiss. Ignoring them can mean delaying help you might need. So, pay attention. Don't just dismiss things as old age. If something feels off, please have a chat with your doctor. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Well now, that about wraps it up for today's little chat on keeping ourselves feeling good as we navigate these later chapters. It truly does seem to boil down to those small, consistent choices we make every single day, doesn't it? Like we discussed, finding ways to move our bodies gently, perhaps enjoying those walks like I do most mornings now just to see the neighborhood wake up. It clears the head, and making sensible choices with our food, most of the time anyway, nobody's perfect. Remembering to stay connected with others is vital too. I recall a period after my own Arthur passed, feeling quite adrift. It was tempting to just stay home, but pushing myself gently to join that book club, then later the walking group, well, it didn't just get me out, it lifted my spirits tremendously. It reminded me there's still so much connection and joy to be found. So please, don't feel you need to overhaul everything overnight. That's just setting yourself up for disappointment. Think about one tiny thing from our talk today. Maybe it's deciding to try that simple stretching routine we showed earlier, just for 5 minutes. Or perhaps making a point to phone your sister or an old friend just for a natter. It all counts towards aging well, keeping not just the body but the mind and soul nourished. If you found this discussion useful, clicking that thumbs up button really does help others like us find this information. And do consider subscribing if you haven't already. We share tips and stories regularly for folks enjoying retirement life and wanting to stay healthy and engaged. I'd be especially delighted to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. What's one simple thing you do that helps you feel your best? Your experience is valuable. Let's build a supportive little community here. Thank you so very much for spending your time with me today. Look after yourselves, stay curious, and I do hope we'll meet again right here for the next video. Cheerio for now.